as wild as the series is, it can only really get more wild. And Undead Unluck has done a great job at keeping like just the insanity of this manga going. But where we left off, now we had Andy and Izumo, and they were going to Russia, trying to figure out what's next in their plan. They have to find one of these guys in this whole organization, kill him, so there's two spots open. That way, both he and Andy, he and Izumo could join up, and they could be protected from this whole like big league of guys who come after them. Then you see Shen, and he's like back at the base with all these other enemies, but one of them specifically we find out, this very strange looking girl, also in a Chinese looking outfit. Oh, I assume Shen is Chinese. I mean, I think the name is Chinese, and then is some of the words he says, I'm not too sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Some form of dialect in that manner. I'm not sure. Either way, they're just kind of discussing about that girl's power and saying what's going on. Oh, this girl, what's her name? I think he said her name was Gina. I don't know. I can't remember. Oh wait, no, but yeah, he does say that. He's like says with whole Shen, he's not sure exactly who it is, but she ends up telling him his name, just reminding him. They definitely don't. They probably don't talk a lot, I guess, then if they don't really know much about each other. But from there, we just get a nice little setup. Then it's back to Andy and Izumo, who now like are being chased by like these jets, and Andy, being as wild as he is, and just to him it's nothing. He can't die. It's just like this crazy situation. It's like, how am I gonna get out of this? He ends up like, I think he cuts off part of his arm with a grenade in it, and then because his arm will regenerate, it shoots that old part out, like the way how fast it's going, it just rockets up the old one, which goes into one of the jets and explodes. But their ship ends up getting destroyed in the process, and from that you have like the information given to them from stuff earlier, like some of these other powers, like someone who's like one has like an invisible barriers. That's the one that trapped him at some point. But after that, there's more of like I would say, other than like just talking about some of these potential future characters, is trying to figure out more about Izumo's power, because she can't control it. She doesn't have like a big grasp on her abilities at the moment. Like, she's gonna obviously get better as the story goes along, get more skills, unlock more things that she can really utilize. But you have these guys, like people up in what's it like the woman Gina? She's like looking at them from space, the satellite. And then just, I think she's the one that launches the attack. Oh yeah, because you can see like the move coming down and then going clouds. But it goes and pierces their ship, destroys it, and at that point, Annie knows it's time to get serious. Now they lost their ship, they got to get a little more vicious. He goes and says Izumo, but who is like under the truck, and he like cuts off part of his body as he does, and then uses the regenerative force to pick her back up. You pretty much move the part of the ship and then save Izumo. And at that point, he wants to test more of her powers, because he's saying that it's not just like, oh, stuff around him, because the lightning bolt and the meteor had to be from a long distance. Her power has like some form of range. It's not just, what's around him. And it was because he saw near them, there was like this big heat vent, obviously where, there's going to be like an underground volcano and stuff, or, get all this steam coming out of these, I guess, I don't know, I just call them vents. I was thinking like maybe like stalactite. I get stalagmite and stalactite confused all the time, regardless of which. They end up having that power, and because of her abilities, like Izumo, she pretty much influenced the underwater volcano that was below them and shot them up at these guys, but also, was going to startle them. There was a massive like explosion beneath them. And Andy's fighting style so far is really cool, because he doesn't have a sheath for his sword, but he uses his body as a sheath, and essentially like he put his sword through his arm, and then used the explosive force when it regenerated to like rocket propel the sword out and then just slice through his opponent. And you can see like the part of the jet just got completely mashed out. There's just like a big slash, the guy's dead. And it's because he's got this like crazy ability. I mean, I can't really say that's not probably the manliest sword style. I understand. It's like, yeah, my body's a sheath. I stab myself so I can do stuff. And I was just like, God damn, man, you are crazy. That's fucking wild. But now they're getting, back on track, getting the things. It was mostly, I think, for the chapter, more of just like a cool action chapter, but also you get a little display more on the potential for Izumo's unlucky ability. We'll see. Either way, it was I don't know. There's been some fast reads this week. I think that's because this one, similar to like the Kimetsu no Yaiba chapter, was more of setup for something that happened later. And outside of a lot of the really sick action panels, there wasn't a whole lot going on with this. I think when the next one, if we step down in Russian, we'll probably get a lot more like spread information, get some backstory maybe on maybe a little bit handed towards Andy, maybe see more of these enemies and find out more about them rather than just being some bad guy group that exists. We'll see. I'm hoping the series does well because I do like it. I do like how crazy it is. Other than that, comment below. Tell me your thumbs, or tell me your thumbs. Tell me your thoughts are about this video. Tell me your thoughts about the series and what's going on right now. I still think it's good. I know it's got some controversy, even though I thought the controversy was silly, but I still find it really enjoyable. Other than that, I really appreciate it. Like I said, comment below, thumbs up the video, from the like button, then subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But I appreciate everybody's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening.